like that. Woo!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, aka B Jizzle.
Hey man, it is your co-host that does it the most, Broderick Masters, Rick Masters. You already know what time it is. The Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts. We got the red, the black, the white tanks, the hoodies, the sweaters. People, you already know what time it is. Hit me up, B Jizzle up in our DMs at Rick Masters 23 if you're trying to get at me or Mr. Lee. B Jizzle, let's go. Let's get into this, man.
Like my man said, go and follow us on our social media. You know what I'm saying? We on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Facebook. If you guys like to order a shirt, you can go to our Facebook, our Instagram. DMS will get you that shirt for $25, $30 a pop for sweaters. Red, black, and white, all sizes. But bro, and also hit that like button as well. We had dinner last week. We had lunch last week at Razoo's. Great fellowship, bro. Great, time, getting a chance to eat. But we talked about business and we talked about stuff that we got brewing coming in, in the next few months, years. Just the podcast in general, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that topic we touched on, you actually opened my mind to this, was the difference in the salary and things that the men NBA players get from the women WNBA players. You know what I'm saying? So it's been an ongoing discussion for years about women's salary, them getting underpaid and stuff of that nature. And you got some people on one side say the women shouldn't be getting paid what the men get. You got the other side saying the women should be getting paid more money. So a lot of stuff that we unveil, what are your opening thoughts about the situation? Do you find it like an interesting topic, or do you find it not so really kind of cut and dry? Like, what you think about it?
Definitely cut and dry, right? And I'm gonna hey people, look, I love basketball. I know women who play basketball. Let me just get all the kind of like how we do LeBron. Let me get all this out the way. Ladies, if you can play ball, you can play ball. There's been times where even I got a little jump shot in my face by a woman. That's not the point. Okay, we talking about business. We talking about money. We're talking about viewership. And when you compare the WNBA to the NBA, okay. So to kick this off, here's my opening thoughts, starting with facts. All right, right from the trusty internet. Finances for the WNBA, people. Let's read. During the mid-2000s, the NBA spent more than $10 million per year to keep the WNBA financially solvent. In 2007, teams were estimated to be losing $1.5 million to $2 million a year. Due to lack of viewership, where your fans at, ladies? The WNBA has not been profitable in past years. The league projected losses through the 2010 season to be around $400 million. Now, we're talking almost 12 years ago and still declining. The league has begun to do better financially in recent years. December 2010, Donna Orender said the league had its first ever cash flow. Its first ever. It's been around for 26 years, people. Got founded in April 1996. The first actual game, 1997. So we're saying the first ever in 2010. Cash flow positive. Team during the 2010, 2011, 3 teams were profitable. And in 2013, 6 of the league's 12 teams reported a profit. Out of the 12 overall teams, I hope y'all are catching this, 12 overall teams, only 6 were profitable in 2013. The league has also signed extended television contracts with ESPN, sponsorship agreements with Boost Mobile, and of course, LifeLock. I think it was the Minnesota Lynx, one of those ladies' teams that actually had an endorsement or whatever, like a contract. All right. So just that alone, this is what I pull. 2 problems, ladies, 2 problems that the people, fans of the WNBA with this argument. The biggest thing is, where are your fans? Who's watching you? Why are they not watching you? Why do they not care? Okay, these are questions you can ask yourself. Opinions are opinions, but I just read facts. The second thing is, why are you messing with the people who are paying you. Okay, when I see the NBA has keeping the WNBA afloat and their NBA is losing 10 million a year, you know how that the picture that draws up in my head, that's like my dad raising me as a child in his home, and I go to him and say, hey, I'm gonna need you to pay me more allowance because what I'm getting ain't enough. What are you? What you know what would happen to me? We're not gonna talk about it because it's not child friendly, but we know how it works in the Black community. You getting popped in the head. At the end of the day, that's how it looks. You coming at the people who literally puts a heartbeat inside of your league. They losing 10 million. They spending 10 million just for you to even exist, but yet you want to get mad at them instead of finding some way, going into your marketing team, going into some type of circle where you can make friends, allies, networking, to where more eyes can be put on the league, to where you bring in more money. Because and by the way, B Jizzle, me and Marcus, your cousin, we were talking on Instagram, like he was basically saying, because you put up that picture showing LeBron and I think Sue Bird. And so basically in a nutshell, like he said, I made a joke after it. I said, he said, well, I don't think nobody jumping from the free throw line, in the WNBA. And then I said, and until she starts jumping from the free throw line, be happy with that bonus. So that's my opening thoughts about that. Go ahead, BJ. I can keep going, but go ahead. I just want to let people know facts real quick before we really just start slicing the dice. Can't hear you.
All right, so just to kind of piggyback off your thoughts, bro, great opening thoughts. We both know women basketball players that we played with and, growing up, high school, stuff like that, who were really good, cold, you know what I mean? Had a mean crossover, a nice jumper, got up there on defense, all that. And we applaud, for the most part. I think a lot of times, if you look at the NBA, a lot of NBA players actually support the WNBA. You see them at their games. You see them speaking highly of them on social media, on Twitter, always supporting them, all their causes and stuff like that. So really, the men are always supportive of the women as far as the players. But what I've noticed is that the ones who don't really support the women are other women out here, like other just basic, everyday women. I'm out here out in the real world. They don't really support the WNBA like that. They think it's kind of just like, it's kind of a waste of time. You know what I mean? So it's not like every female like supports the WNBA. And it's not like every man doesn't like the WNBA. Like me personally, I remember watching back in the early 2000s, Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Cynthia Cooper. One of my good friends, she was in the WNBA at that time, Marie Ferdinand Harris. Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Tamika Catchings. Like I love basketball. So I used to take little things from, even with the WNBA. But when it comes to like revenue and money, that's not something that I can control or something that, a supporter can control, no matter how hard I chant for the WNBA to get paid more money. That's based off the product. It's just like the league, just like the NBA. The reason why they're getting paid millions of dollars is because we had an episode about this, I think, last year or 2 years ago when we first started doing the podcast. Our NBA players overpaid. And I remember saying, like, it's based off of what the consumer produces. If I'm buying tickets, if I'm buying jerseys, if I'm buying popcorn, if I'm buying snacks at the game, vending machines, all that good stuff, that's on me as the fan, because I'm spending my money, my hard-earned money, to come watch you entertain me. That's a product you're giving me. So it's not about what you think is fair. It's about what the bottom line is. And the bottom line is that people are going to watch the NBA on a consistent basis. It's going to continue bringing in money, just like anything else. And if the WNBA wants to get paid more money, they're going to have to find a way to bring more people to come in. And it's a shame that we lost Kobe the way he did, because I think he would have been the answer to breaking that barrier and getting more people to support the WNBA. Because I think, just with his name, Kobe Bryant, how big he is and his daughter playing ball, that would have been another avenue, not just here in the States, but also overseas across the waters. So those are my opening thoughts, bro. But let me ask you this question. What can the WNBA do to sort of change the circumstances in their league, as well as do you feel like there's any hope for them to change the circumstances of their league, man? Because I stopped really watching it, to be honest with you, lately, because it's not as exciting as it once was, in my opinion. But react to what I was talking about.
What does the WNBA need to do? Well, obviously nothing. And this is the reason why I say it. Because when you have Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy McGrady, some of the all-time great NBA players actually come down and sit with you on a live channel, and I'm referring to the Candace Parker videos that she had out there, when she talked to Shaq, when she talked to, Tracy made a comment, and they came with ideas that I actually, as a fan of basketball in the NBA, was like, that actually makes sense. And these are people who play professional ball just like you. Okay, so you would think this would be the right people to talk to and take advice from. And in Candace Parker fashion, which, by the way, in my opinion, I feel like she's the face of the WNBA because it is a business. They use her. I just feel like, she was just like, nah, we coming. We coming. You wait. My not the daughter that's in gymnastics or whatever she said, but the daughter that's coming behind her, what, she gonna be drop step dunking and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, all Shaq and Tracy and them said was, if we just move the goals down to 9 foot, and maybe you guys can dunk like us. You can lay the ball up like us. What they were trying to get at, BJ, and everybody listening, what they were trying to say, maybe if you can make your league more entertaining and fun to watch, then you will solve most of your financial problems. And again, I must add, these are men who play for the NBA, and the NBA is the WNBA's daddy. Once again, I'm going to say it just like that, because the WNBA's existence is all due to the works of Mr. David Stern, God rest his soul, and the work of the NBA governing board, putting them on in April 22nd, 1996. And BJ, you said something. You said that you really stopped watching the WNBA, and you only really watched them when Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops. You know why? Because them women back then, they played ball. They played ball. And I'm going to get real with y'all tonight, everybody. See, I'm not just running my mouth because I've been around long enough. They played ball. And what I mean by play ball is they played basketball. We wasn't talking about no Black Lives Matter movement. We wasn't talking about Green Earth movement. We wasn't talking about women's rights. I wanted to see a basketball game, okay? Quit bringing your movements to a sports event, all right? Now, if you're Muhammad Ali and you have influence, by all means, do your thing, because I'm going to love you either way because you're that great. But until you get that great, let's just hold off on movements and make it more about the game, because after I deal with the world and work a 13-hour work shift, I don't care about no movements. Even if it's pertaining to me, I don't care about what president is in our office. I don't care about what kind of chicken needs to come in through the USA borders. I just want to watch some basketball. And you do not produce enough entertainment for me like Muhammad Ali did. I'm using him as a reference point because he was in a lot of controversy during his time. You don't produce enough entertainment for me to be like, you know what? I care about what Muhammad is saying. And you know what? I probably should think about the Viet Congs and all that. But guess what? He was knocking folks out. He did the razzle-dazzle, rope-a-dope. He was fun to watch. What are y'all doing for me to talk about Black lives, for me to talk about green, all this kind of movement stuff? But then at the same time, when you're done talking, I see you do a 360 dunk. Well, I want to be entertained. Okay, I think ladies are missing the point. It's not about that we don't think you can play ball. It's not about that I don't think you're not skilled. It's none of that. You're not entertaining. It is not fun. It's boring. And I don't care. You can drag me through the mud. You can hate me, but I am a truth teller. It's not fun to watch. When I get through seeing a rookie come out of college, a male rookie coming to the NBA, and this dude is zipping up and down the floor and did a cool layup on one of an all-star superstar great, kind of like when Iverson was in the league and he crossed up Jordan and hit a jump shot. I was at the TV like, oh, he just did that to Jordan. I'm excited as a viewer. I'm like, oh my goodness. But then when I watch you guys come in and play, I mean, look, man, it just looked like a nice college game. You know what I mean? I mean, if honestly, I go watch, I go watch some college games, man. Blake Griffin when KD was dunking and yamming and all that in college. So even in college, it was more entertaining. It's about entertainment. Y'all are missing the point. And y'all gonna quit coming at these NBA players when they're the people backing you. They the ones keeping you afloat. BJ, man, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. I can't hear you.
You just made me think about what you were talking about, man, because I started thinking about, I said, you know what? I used to get amped up for WNBA games. Like I did, because it was like, it was all about basketball, man. It was all competitive, the storylines, the women that I used to watch. Um, I just loved watching them play and compete, like Lisa Leslie, you know what I'm saying? Like just class act woman, bro. Played basketball, did everything the right way on the court. Tina Thompson, you know what I'm saying? Cynthia Cooper, Shell Swoops, and my favorite, Tamika Catchings. Like those women used to hoop. I'm talking about hoop, play ball, nothing else matters, balls to the wall, all that. But you also know something else, bro? They were women, bro. Like, not to say that, and this may, again, people forgive me, but these were women, bro. Like, if you just look at them, like how they play, like you don't see a bunch of, extra stuff going on their bodies, and after they exit the basketball court, bro, they dressed as women, bro. And there was a femininity to them, as well as like a great basketball player. There's like also a femininity to them, and I thought that was just awesome. And maybe it's just because of the culture we in now and what we had back then, but it was just a difference of how they played the game. And those games used to be packed, bro. If you guys go back on YouTube and watch games like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, bro, those games used to be packed. The Houston Comets, the LA Sparks, Seattle Storm, Phoenix Mercury, those games used to be packed out. And now it's like, it's almost as women are trying to beg for, pay and equal all that stuff. You didn't hear that back at those times I was just talking about. You didn't hear about them trying to beg for pay. They just went out there and hoop, and people were coming flooding to see them play. And I think that's what we got to get back to. And like you said, bro, if they made it more entertaining, and if they started showing a little bit more appreciation for what the NBA has done for them, and actually try to raise them up, pick them up, you would probably get a little bit better response, and you get a little bit more leeway, because the NBA has done a lot. They've been good to you. They've supported you. They've tried to, so come to your games. There's LeBron James and Chris Paul. There's Kobe Bryant with Brittany Griner. Rest in peace to the Bean, and also condolences to Brittany Griner serving that sentence in Russia. Kobe had a daughter. Trying to get into the WNBA. So they've been a very good friend. And for you to sit up there and say like we're coming and we don't really need y'all, and y'all trying to stick your chest out, it's almost as if you forgot who was there for you when you didn't have nothing, or you were struggling, and now you got your little, your money going and your situation got a little bit better. You want to sit up and poke your chest out. So yeah, man, it's an interesting situation, but I don't think, it's just like you said, it's not about what you think you deserve. Because I'm gonna say this, also bring this up. Got to bring this up. It's not even a woman and men thing. It's not even a sex thing. It's the fact what you generate. Let's talk about Serena Williams, bro. Probably the greatest athlete, one of the greatest athletes. Forget women, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Been playing pro tennis for the last 20 years. She just retired this week, so shout out to the GOAT in women's tennis. But she generated 260 million at net worth. 260 million. You know why? Because women tennis overseas, they were generating money. She gets people to come watch her play. So it's not even just about, oh, you're a woman, you can't get paid. No, you don't bring in enough crowd to actually make people want to come watch you. And that's included with the NBA trying to help you out, saying, "Hey, go watch the women play." You got guys like Kobe Bryant who watch you play, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving. All these guys come watch you play, and you still don't get the same amount of respect and revenue or close to what the men get. So that should tell you something. Be more entertaining. But go ahead and rebuff that, bro. The floor is yours.
All right, Bruce is on the side writing. What's up, Bruce? Good evening. Love you, brother. Gonna be interesting conversation. Well, that's not true at all times. What about the NBA teams that play like college teams? Stop it. Aces versus Storms today was packed. Not the same thing. Stop
Oh,
it.
hold on. My bad, bro. I want to say something. Bruce said the Aces and Storm was packed. The only reason the Aces and Storm game was packed is because Sue Bird, arguably the greatest player of all time, is ought to be retirement. It's not because of the Aces and Storm. Let's get that fixed. Like, it's because of Sue Bird. But go ahead.
So, Bruce, let me say it like this. What I'm speaking on today is the WNBA overall. Okay. And I'm going to touch back on something. Again, I have some favorite players in NBA. I like Liz Cambridge, but where is she at? I'm a fan of hers, but she's letting her fan down right now. Where is she at? She needs some mental space. Fine. I'm not mad at her. But that hurts the WNBA when that happens because fans like me all over the world want to see her play. But then when she has to leave, you're going to lose viewership. I want to see her play. That's how you get money. Where's her jerseys? Oh, yeah. I was also reading. I won't read too much because it'll make the show boring. I don't want to be formatted. But I'm also reading on stats, and their jerseys are not even done. Matter of fact, the most ready-made jersey in the WNBA is, what's the sister's name? Let me look it up here. I don't think she plays right now. She came out of, what is the sister's name, man? She was a superstar. Not the one, like, she stopped playing, I think, in 2018, most like recently, but I'm trying to find her name.
She's a superstar.
But she
Maya
was
Moore.
Maya Moore.
Yeah.
Maya Moore's jersey, and you can look this up. Maya Moore's jersey is the only WNBA jersey, like replica, that is ready to go. Ready to go. Meaning that whether it's marketing, whether you buy it offline, whether you walk into the store, this is a player that's not even playing. So that means other WNBA teams and players like Liz Cambridge, a person that I love, that I like to watch, okay, their jerseys are not even ready. It takes them time to even get it there to you. And Maya Moore is a cold girl, by the way. That's why
she was cold, bro. She was cold.
She was cold. She was cold. I'm not dogging them. Let's make sure we're not in our emotions. That's the first thing we got to do. We're looking at straight stats and facts. Okay. They are not bringing in money. How do you bring in money? How do you bring in viewership? And Bruce, also, their most, high rated people in the small percentage that they do have far as fanship are older men. And I thought the point of the WNBA was, after all the reading I did, was to bring in younger women, was to bring in women to play basketball. But older men are your best fan consumer, your best supporters, basically. And of course, NBA players, because they're forced to go, unless they because the NBA owns them.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's like the numbers, the stats, they don't lie. Like these are the people who like you. And then the people that I personally like, they leave, they got problems. It's a commotion. I'm hearing about movements. Instead of just watching the game, like BJ brought up back in 97, 98, where the girls actually balled out and just played ball. I didn't turn on the TV and have to hear about what's going on, what happened in the White House and all that kind of stuff. I just want to see a game. And that's what they used to do. Now it's like, man, you know what? I might as well just watch, CNN and an hour late news, because the WNBA gonna do it. So I might as well go to the right source to go watch that kind of stuff. When I turn on the game, I want to watch the game. And then you got to take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Don't take it so much, personally, because what I'm really touching on is the value of the collective, right? Is the value of what they bring to the table. And what they bring to the table, I basically don't want to see a watered down version of something that's already great. I just don't.
Right.
You got Jordan flying, Dr. J flying, LeBron flying, everybody flying from the free throw line. I don't want to spend floor ticket seats to watch a layup, a missed lay. I just want to see a person get boomed on. Vince Carter's vertical was inhuman. I don't see that in the WNBA. Shaq was inhuman. I don't see that in the WNBA. It's not entertaining. It's not about them not being good or not being able to play ball. We already established that. Me and BJ even admitted back when they used to play ball and not talk about everything else in their personal lives and actually play ball, we were viewers. We just watched it. So it's not about that. They just not bringing in the money. And my thing is, okay, so how do we bring in the money? Again, we had some NBA players come and give their opinions and they got shot down like it was nothing. And you know what? That's okay. Because at the end of the day, prove people wrong. So again, when you start flying through the paint, when you start banging bodies like the man, I guarantee you I'll be the first one signed up. Again, BJ said it. I was excited that Kobe's daughter was she was going to the WNBA. And me knowing Kobe Bryant, I was like, yo, this something. I'm getting my popcorn ready for she even get there. I'm already excited. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be something else. So God rest their souls. But that's my point. They already had influence. They already had viewership ready to go. Of course, they're not here, so we won't be able to see it. But at the end of the day, they already had a fan base ready for them. Viewership was on the way. And the point of the matter is, if nobody's watching, if nobody cares, if every time an NBA player or analyst comes to you and say, hey, here are some good marketing tips and ideas that we think that can boost this up, and you turn it down, I don't do what I do in relationships. I just be like, all right, you got it. You got it. You figure it out.
Right.
You figure it out. It ain't even nothing really to argue about. You figure it out. You have people trying to help you, telling you. And like I said, I could keep reading, but I don't want this to be formatted. It's too much out there to go read on your own to basically show why they're not as productive as they should be. And then, like I said, it's not like you don't got the help from daddy himself, the NBA, trying to tell you what to do, but you don't want to listen, even though the league's been successful. They tell you what to do. Hey, BJ, am I wrong? Isn't the play-in tournament a certain style of play to kind of keep the entertainment going?
Right.
Because the NBA analytics realize that, oh, we're losing viewership. So what do we have to do different in order for our fans to stick with us? They created the play-in. See, they didn't sit back and complain about you guys are not coming to the game. No, they looked in a certain area. They looked at the analytics. They said, people are not as interested no more. Well, let's go talk to the fans. Let's see why. Let's look at the demographic. Who's watching, who's not? Why did we lose this demographic? Let's throw a survey out there and see why. Okay, so this is the solution to that. And guess what? Even for myself, it is more entertaining during playoff time. Because now we sitting around talking about, now, if they make the play-in, they might can make the playoffs. See, I get more energy talking about it now. Because it probably got a little stale. It probably got a little boring. So they figured it out. They tried something and it's working. And that's all we trying to do for the WNBA. That's all people been trying to tell them for the last decade. They only... I don't know. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know. Go ahead, BJ.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. And people, and Bruce, we're gonna let him in a minute, man. But like we said, man, the reason why women back then in the earlier times were getting fans and people were really behind the WNBA is because them women played ball, man. Like I said, one of my good friends, she used to play in the WNBA, Marie Ferdinand Harris. You know what I'm saying? Used to play in the WNBA. That's her against Cheryl Swoops right there. Like, you didn't hear all this talking about, women's rights and like none of that stuff was going on, man. You step out there, you play basketball, man, and they going full 10 at your neck, at your throat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I don't care what it is, a man or a woman, they're going to be entertained by good entertainment. People watch Serena Williams because she's entertaining, because of what she brings to the table, man. People line up at tennis matches to come watch this woman play and display her God-given talent. And she gets compensated for it. 260 million. So it's not about women and men being equal. It's not about none of that. It's about what can you bring to the table to allow me to come watch you play. Because if you bring me some entertainment, it's just like, okay, if you got somebody that can cook, Rick, you got, family, kin, friends that can cook. If I feel like you got the best, I don't know, cornbread, it's like, man, this cornbread good, man. You licking your fingers, you biting through your nails, all that stuff, man. I need to go get some more cornbread from my boy Rick, man. And you keep feeding this type of food to him, and you start, getting into it, man. You gonna keep going back. It's just like anything else. Money, people are always gonna spend money. It's just what you gonna spend your money on. So again, we love you, WNBA women's basketball. We love you, but two things. One, remember the ones who help you out, who are going to be there in your corner. The ones that are constantly supporting your games, the ones that have daughters who going to be WNBA players. You might want to be a little bit more friendly to them. You might want to show a little bit more gratitude and appreciation towards them. And just because somebody gives you a suggestion doesn't mean you just shut it down and be like, nah, we ain't finna, we gonna go our own way. Okay, you go your own way, but I mean, don't expect somebody to just, hand you $2-3 million and it's gonna put us in a bind. Because how much you say, Rick, that the NBA puts in a bind supporting the WNBA?
10 million a year. And they losing 1.5 to 2 million. What is it? Every year, it said. Let's see. Gotta go back to their finance page. Losing money. And we all know when you're losing money, ain't nobody gonna support you for too long. NBA been doing it for a decade.
Right.
Yeah. I think 10 million. Yep. So
that's like a wife, man. That's like you do if a man has a wife that you going to support. That you ain't even his wife and you support him on that money, man. So yeah, man, like come on, man. We just want to see y'all play ball, man. Y'all got some athletes dunking now. Athletes are more better, medicine better. I mean, that's all what it's about, man. So it looks like we got Bruce coming in here, man. I just dropped the link and y'all give y'all 2 cents, but what's good with you, Bruce?
Big Bruce.
Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing good, sir.
What's good, man?
Yeah, I see that you guys are big WNBA fans.
Big fans.
Bro, we love basketball, bro. we love basketball.
I agree with some of what you guys said, but I disagree with some of what you guys said. I agree that women want the same thing that NBA players have, but they have not worked for it. But the WNBA just started, like 1996, 95, something like that.
Yes, 96.
And I remember I was reading that the NBA started in the 40s. Mm-hmm. And the NBA really took off with Magic and Bird. That was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. So we have to give the league a shot for it to succeed. And I think why it's not succeeding as it should is because of WNBA players and fans and people. For example, I don't think there's a lot of I think because there's a lot of lesbians and they are out of it. I mean, out in public, a lot of people are not interested in that. So that's why I bet you if there was a lot of NBA players that were out, they were gay or something, you would lose a lot of fans because a lot of people, or you have the Christian belief that they're against homosexuality, they're homophobe, they don't want to promote or support those kind of relationships. So I think the fact that there's a lot of lesbian in WNBA and they're out, they're like, oh, it's my wife, it's this, and I think that's one reason. And sorry, I had a call. Yes, and I think the WNBA players have to recognize that they don't have the same bodies as men. Though I used to think that the basket should be the same way as the men players, but I think they should change it and lower lower the basket because that's one of the reasons why there's not a lot of scoring. They're struggling to score. When you sometimes when watching WNBA games, you have to shake your head because there's so much bad basketball. But I like basketball, so I give them a chance. Um, and they don't really promote WNBA players don't really promote the sport. They don't go to a network. I don't know what WNBA players are doing or the commissioner or whatever, who's the president. They have to go on shows and promote their players. And people are not gonna come just because it's the WNBA. We have to support. And then there's a lot of people who said, "Hey, a lot of those people who said there should be equality, they don't even go to the NBA games. I don't see them there. So there's a lot of fake support of women going on. So that I think that's the reason. But I agree with you. When the WNBA first started, I think they had more fans. I remember when they first started because I think those players were better, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the players right now are better," but I think the players when they first started the league, they were so good, and had more skills to me. Like Cynthia Cooper, like yeah, you guys are showing it. So I need to. They just need to play and stop promoting their stuff. But you're talking about Cambage. Cambage is crazy, man. You know how many teams she's been going to? She's a diva. She's not interested in basketball. She's not interested in basketball. She was just using basketball to get where she wants to go. I think she wants to be a model or something.
She's the Ben Simmons of the WNBA.
What? What did you say?
She's the Ben Simmons of the WNBA.
She's the best player in the WNBA?
No, the Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the Ben Simmons of the WNBA.
Yeah, man. What you go on and refute that, Rick?
No, not refuting anything. It pours right into my point because he brought up Liz Cambridge, and that's my point. I'm a fan of hers, but you're not there. I can't even be entertained by you because, like Bruce said, maybe you want to be a model. Maybe I know you have OnlyFans page. I mean, you broadcasted that. You say you got things going on in your personal life. So when you're I'm a fan of Liz. Now think if there's 10 million other people like me that's a fan of hers. You just took away 10 million people from viewership, which is the big factor of bringing in money into the organization of the WNBA. You need eyes to watch you. So if I'm a fan of hers and 10 million other people are a fan of hers, but you're trying to go be a model or you're trying to do this or you need mental space and all this kind of stuff, because salute Dallas Sports, because here's my thing. Me and BJ talked about this. I think this was most recent. She said something about she needed time to herself and all that. And me and BJ, we're at Razoo's, and I said, you know what? I don't have a problem with that. You know why? Because one of the greatest players of all time did it. His name was Michael Jordan. But his father passed away, and there's evidence in NBA archives showing how close he was to his father. And the way his father passed away was very tragic. And so it made sense that he needed some mental space to go away from the game and take a little time. Yeah, we were sad to see him go, but it was very understandable. Okay. Matter of fact, I think one of the championships after he came back, he cried his hardest because usually his dad was there. Okay. That makes sense. But when I just say I need some mental time and some mental space, okay, for what? What's going on? We care about you. We're fans. We love to see you. Let us be close to you. You have a fan out here. What's wrong? Let us hold you. Let us pray for you. I just need, I need to go do some OnlyFans stuff. God, come on. Come on, man. And like I said, 10 million people around the world who feel like me, who likes you as a fan. Now you just took 10 million people away from viewership, which, unfortunately takes away from the money pot that could have came to your, jersey sales, that could have came to the arena sales to come watch you play. But no, you have to go do OnlyFans things, and you got to go think about life, I guess. So at the end of the day, another thing that Bruce pulled up, he said that the sponsorship. Okay. So media coverage. Currently, WNBA games are televised through the U.S. by ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, Twitter, NBA TV, CBS, CBS Sports Network, in the early years, two women's oriented networks, Lifetime and Oxygen, also broadcast games, including the first game of the WNBA NBC show games from 97 to 2002 as part of their NBA on NBC coverage before the league transferred the rights to ABC/ESPN. In 2007, the WNBA and ESPN came to an 8-year television agreement. The agreement would be the first to pay television right fees to the league's teams. Never before had an agreement promised rights fees to a women's professional league. Never before. So these people are really trying to help, right? They're really extending that olive branch, as they would say. The agreement ran from 2009 to 2016 and was worth millions of dollars, not including the $10 million that the NBA gives each year. And by each year, the WNBA is losing 1.5 to 2 million in profits. And that's not adding and including the jersey sales, the stadium sales, and all that. So also, I want people to, like I said, I've done a lot of reading. So I want people to know this. Not every WNBA team is independently owned, right? So some NBA teams own the teams. Some WNBA teams are owned by third parties. And you know what some of these owners do? They get rid of them eventually because they're not making enough money. Because I'm going to tell you, they'll get rid of the NBA team as well if they weren't making enough money. Okay? That's why people like KD or Kobe Bryant back in the day, or LeBron James going to the Heat, the reason why when they make certain comments like I'm going to South Beach, the reason why it's such a big deal is because he's a money ticket. Matter of fact, what's his name? Kevin Garnett, he was called the big ticket because he brought in the money to Minnesota. It's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. People didn't go watch Ali because he was just really tall and he was a handsome man. No, that dude had a nice little dance knocking heavyweights out. He had a funny way of talking. He rhymed and shined, float like a butterfly. He was entertaining and he was knocking you out at the same time. He was an influencer. It was fun to watch. It was people copied him, right? Just like people copied Jordan. Kobe copied Jordan. Okay, so other NBA players copied him. You see what I'm saying? They influenced the generation, right? So it's entertaining. It's must-see TV. We want to watch you. So the biggest issue with the WNBA is who wants to watch you besides older men from the demographics they put out here online.
I think WNBA, there's a lot of bad perception about WNBA. If you already think that, okay, it's going to be bad, you're not going to watch. I don't watch all the games, but I watch players that I've watched in college basketball. So Candace Parker, I watch Candace Parker games. So I watch her today. Kelsey Plum, I watch her. When Miami was playing, I used to watch Minnesota Lynx every game because I used to watch Miami play, Simon Augustus, Lindsay Whalen. I used to watch those players play. But I don't watch all teams. But I watch people that when Oslo was playing, I used to watch Oslo. When Leslie was playing, I watch. So Mary Ferdinand, when she was playing with Silver Stars, I used to watch her too. So
and she's Haitian. Bruce, out to the Haitian people.
Yes. Yeah. Marie Ferdinand. Yep. And
beautiful spirit too. Beautiful spirit.
Yes. She was very athletic, very talented. But there's a bad perception about WNBA that game's gonna be boring. I'm not gonna disagree. There's a lot of bad WNBA games. Today was a bad WNBA game, the first game. I don't know why I watch it, but it's because I like watching Candace Parker. That's why I watch it. But I had it on the TV, but I was doing other stuff because the game was boring. But the second game was good because I like AJ Wilson, Sue Bird, and you said BJ that it's packed, but Seattle is always packed. Why? Because there's no NBA team, so they go to the WNBA games in Seattle, and they were playing
Right.
the Aces. And Becky Hammon is a coach. That's another reason why the Aces, Las Vegas Aces, the head coach is Becky Hammon because she left the Spurs to coach the Aces. So that's another reason why they watch. People were interested in that game. But there's a lot of bad NBA games too. I have not watched Sacramento Kings in a long time. There's a lot of NBA teams I have not watched. They're bad. They're worse than college teams last year. So there's a lot of bad perception. And like I said again, there's anti-LGBTQ thing going on. You know, there's a lot of lesbian. Like 90% of those players are lesbians. People hate lesbians. They don't say it out loud, but they're not gonna watch lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when the WNBA first started, there's a lot of men used to go to the WNBA games because they're like, oh, okay, I may have a chance with that. You know, now they know they're not gonna get a chance because they already know they're with their teammates. And then there's no charisma. There was no charisma. Some of those players are boring. Okay, there's no charisma. So that's what, and there, like I said, there's no marketing for them. Because when the WNBA first started, I used to see a lot of commercials. I was in another country and I used to see a lot of commercials about the WNBA. I haven't seen a commercial of the WNBA for years. Nobody knows that it's playing right now. And then there's a lot of female empowerment groups. Where are they? They just want Britney Griner to be released because it's good. It's because they're gonna be in the news. But when she gets here, those same people are not gonna be there.
Right. I think you brought, first of all, good points by Rick and Bruce. One thing really stood up to me, bro. I think it's more so because Bruce, you said it. It's because of, you saw a lot of times the women actually got the support back, and that's true. If you guys turn the TV on, commercials, little girls, have the basketball, looking up to other WNBA players like Cheryl Swoops, Tamika Catchings, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper. You know what I mean? Like just legends, right? Now you don't really see that going on too much, but I think there's something to say to the amount of arrogance of some of these WNBA players. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see your private chat, bro.
What? Yeah, you're not getting in. You might have probably just end up blocking them. But anyway, basically, you guys remember this quote with Brittany Griner and DeMarcus Cousins, where she said that she can beat DeMarcus Cousins in one-on-one? Yeah. And he responded with this quote saying, "I'm glad that she's confident in her abilities, but she's a little delusional." And I think that's what it comes down to. Like, let's just call a spade, man. Just physically and genetically, men are supposed to be stronger than women, and athletically, all that. You can call it how you want to call it. It's just norms. It is what it is. Nothing different. It's not. We have differences. There's certain things that men can do, women can't do, and there's anything women can do that men can't do. It's just how we're wired. But I've seen, like, with just the WNBA players of today, how you guys said it's so sloppy now. How the players play today. No passion, no real attention to fundamentals. And I get bored of some of these WNBA games. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like I watched the Houston Comets where there's passion and emotion. There's beauty in the game. Tamika Catchings, how she used to go out all full-fledged on both ends. She reminded me a lot of Kawhi Leonard. She played offense and defense with so much passion, and she cared about the game. Dived on the floor for loose balls, but her offensive skill set was just as impeccable. Her mid-range jump shot, her crossover. And I'm like, damn, this girl can play. And of course, Cheryl Swoops, the icon. You know what I'm saying? Like her, how she played the game. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of passion and emotion. All these women, Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, played the game the right way, and that made people who weren't even women come watch them play. And I think men, like Bruce said, and like Rick said, your biggest audience is the older men. Shouldn't your audience be other women? Shouldn't that really be your audience? So if you're not getting your same sex, your same gender as your biggest crowd, you might want to ask to like, why is it that our own people, our own women don't even support the game or our profession? Knowing how women don't get equally paid in certain professions, if you think that they would probably get a way for them to get more compensated, don't you think they'll probably start supporting them a little bit? But they probably thinking like, you know what, I don't really want to watch this because it's not really benefiting me. And like Bruce said, it's a fact. People ain't gonna outward say it, but people do not want to watch a bunch of dykes play basketball. They don't. They don't, and that's nothing against LGBT, nothing like that. But I'm saying like people are just getting. They feel like there's more of that extra stuff than actually basketball. Like the women back then they didn't get intrigued into all that other stuff outside the game. They just played the game, and they let their talent, their God-given talent, be displayed, and people watch the product. So, yeah.
Men, it's a lot easier for men to support other men than women to support women. That's what I think. Because I didn't have any brothers. I was raised with women. I had only sisters. So I saw all women would hate on other women because the other person is gifted. So I think that's one of the reasons why. And they don't have shows to promote women. They have shows to promote women. They don't have shows. And the WNBA just started. And the NBA started in 1946. It was until 40 years later, 30, 40 years later, that the NBA with Magic and Bird, because it was on tape delay. See, the WNBA is already ahead of the pace of the NBA because they're on TV, they're on a streaming device, and the only thing is there's no marketing. And when people want to buy jerseys, you guys said that too. When people do buy jerseys, it's very hard to get a jersey. You have to wait months or days. Like it's easier to get NBA old players, retired players of NBA than current WNBA players. So I think they need to fire their marketing department and hire a new marketing department. Just get in the news, get in the news. Like even like Larsa Pippen today. Larsa Pippen with Michael Jordan's son. So,
but I think Bruce, what you said with the head of the curve, the men of the 50s, you gotta remember that was a whole different time. So I think it's more. You said the women again. The men are supporting the reason why the women are so above water is because the men are uplifting the league. So they're not doing it by themselves. They're not doing it based off of what we bring. Like unfortunately, no. It's the men are choosing to step in. The NBA is choosing to step in to help. And you're still somewhat. And your ratings actually went down. Like the ratings were high in the late 90s and the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and the trend has been going down. And I think since Maya Moore retired, the trend went from up back down. Like when Maya Moore came back on the scene and Candace Parker, I started watching the WNBA again, like heavy. But now I don't. There's a new wave of women. Like it's a new culture now. So it's not as to me is that it's not the same type of flavor like how it used to be.
They just need great players, so that the WNBA can build with those great players. Like the Maya Moore could have helped, but she left. So they just need. I don't see great players that generational great player right now. I mean, they're great, but I don't see great marketing player right now.
Well, I'm gonna let Rick chime in. But I want to read this from East Oakland 90 Mac. He said, and this is a fact. He said it's been WNBA players that came out and said they have been bullied in the locker room because they weren't a part of LGBT community. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, now you're not only just trying to bully men to support you, other people support you, but you're bullying your own sex, your own gender, and basically they don't agree with your lifestyle. You want to try to outcast and make it as an enemy. See, it's not about basketball anymore. It's about something else. That's why you continuously don't get what you want. Like Bruce, I don't think it's much more of a marketing. I just think it's just like nobody wants to see that. Even you can market something all day if you can have them come watch you play, but if you're not keeping their attention and their mindset intrigued, they're going to end up leaving. And the players, they gotta get better players. I mean, that's on them. They gotta, be ready to like give the people a product them worth watching. But that's what I wanted to say.
I'm a piggyback on both of y'all because y'all are both saying it in different ways. But the main point is, because remember, the main point is where are your fans? Where's the viewership? Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. I like Liz. Where you at, Liz? You losing fans doing that. And then on top of that, like you said, you have Candace Parker. You have all these great WNBA players across the league. Though, how many star players can you name? I hear the same name all the time. And then on top of that, the players that you want to see, they, like you said, either go on making OnlyFans pages. They get pregnant. Like Diggins, she got pregnant. She had to leave. Nothing against that, because that's a woman's biology. So they not playing. So that's going to bring down ticket sales. You need more star power in the league. And then once you get the star power, how do you keep these ladies happy? That's another thing. So I'm gonna touch back on Liz Cambridge. So if she's quitting the league because she needs more money or whatever the case may be, then how does the financing team come to her and say, okay, what can we do to basically keep you happy and keep you on the court? Because you have 10 million people who love you to death. So how do we keep you here and keep you compensated instead of going on and making OnlyFans pages? How can we do that for you? So in the same sense, there is different moving parts, but at the same time, both sides have to negotiate. Both sides have to cooperate. And when one side's not really cooperating, business is business. At the end of the day, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. Like I said, if it's making money, BJ used a little funny type of metaphor. If I made some bomb cornbread has been around since the beginning of man. But if I made some type of cornbread that everybody just suck their fingers and they just can't get enough of it, I'm gonna go through the roof. Because whatever my product, it just does that to you. You're gonna come back. But if somebody else comes and make a cornbread factory and it just tastes better than my amazing cornbread, now I got competition. Now I got to sit over here and figure out, okay, what are they doing? What are they putting in their seasoning? Like, why is it better than mine? I'm gonna see a decline in profits. And if they keep shooting up, I'm gonna go out of business. And that's one thing that the NBA is basically saying. Look, we losing money. Okay, we losing money, and we trying to give you examples. We've got NBA players coming to your game, support you, giving you advice. We have these ideas, but if you don't want to take them ideas, you're not being cooperative either. And then once you get these superstar women that come into the league that we like, I see you like Candace Parker. I like her too. She's nice. Like I said, Liz Cambridge, Maya Moore, people like that. How do we keep them in the league to where people like me keep watching? Because again, besides the sexual orientation, besides what they got going on off the court, they really need to get to a point to where not only do you bring in superstar power, but how do you, like Bruce said, get them spread it across the league on 12 other teams? And then how do you also keep them happy enough to where they play in the league for at minimum 10 years straight? I mean, you got to revenue money somehow. You got to keep the product there some form and some fashion. So that's what they need to think about. But like I said, when you have NBA players and analysts coming to you saying, hey, we have this idea, why not just try it out for a season? Why not just see what happens? The play-in tournament kicked in the 2020 bubble. That's brand new, and people love it. It's working. They tried it out. It works. So it's like, let's try it out before we say no, and let's see what happens. And then if you start to see profits, you start to see gains. All right, let's keep it in place. And then, like Bruce said, once we get more superstars in here, more good players, let's have like more negotiable, like, you know, conversations and keeping these ladies happy so that 10 million people like me can stay in the loop, can stay supporting the basketball player themselves. But since that doesn't happen, we lose money. Therefore, we tank. You're not making money for me. I got to cut you. And I'll say business is not personal. It's just business. And so, again, you put up the Sue Bird and LeBron James, 17 seasons both, 4 championships, 2020 salary. Okay, but here's another thing. Just by showing that, here's when I want to paint a picture for everybody watching. Let's say that you have a $10 million pot, okay, and then you have 10 players that you have to pay. I'm just making up something simple here. Each player is $1 million. Well, that means your pot's empty, right? Which means it has to be replaced by the star power of each player. But each player brings in 5 million. Well, there you go. You're making profit. I could keep paying you. I could keep giving you $1 million a year out of the 10 million with the 10 players. I could keep doing it. May even give you bonuses because you're bringing in $5 million a person for each person. So now I can give you a 500,000 increase. I can give you NBA championship bonuses because you're bringing in revenue. But now, if you're asking for 12 million and it's only 10 million in the pot, I can't pay you. And that's what the WNBA does. That's at least that's what I hear on the media. It's like, we need to get paid more, but yeah, you only bring in this much. I can't pay you. If I wanted to pay you, I couldn't.
Right.
Don't bring in that much. So it's not about you can't play ball, you're a girl. It's not about, it's business. I cannot pay you something that I don't have. But guess what? If you're bringing in profit enough to where I can increase your pay, of course I'll pay you. The reason why she got $11,356 bonus is because they had enough to give her. And plus, she's the big boss dog right now. So the big boss dogs always get the big money bonuses. LeBron is the face of the NBA. So, of course, $370,000, the NBA can afford that. So they're going to give it to the boss dog. That's just how business works. So go ahead.
The Serena point from what Rick, I wanted to answer the Serena point in what Rick is talking about. It's just a couple years ago, they had equal prize for when you win a championship, when you win a major in tennis. I think tennis is the most gender equal sport, I think, in my opinion, right now. But Serena Williams and her sister, there was not a lot of black girls winning. Maybe Atea Gibson, not a lot of black girls winning tennis tournaments when they first got on the scene. So they're marketable. They're marketable. When Serena and her sister are playing, there's a lot of eyeballs. They're gonna bring money. So it's the tennis prize just started a couple years ago. Equality, because men, when they win a major, they would make more money than women. So it's all about marketing to me.
But okay, I agree with that. But Serena been making money. Even you talk about before, she's been in this sport for over 25 years. Like, she's been making money.
That's what I just said. When she got on the major with her sister, with those beads in their head, they were like, oh, those two black players, they're not gonna win much. And then they started dominating other women, other girls, and then everybody wants to see that. When you're crushing other people, everybody wants to see why you're crushing.
Well, that kind of goes to back what we were talking about before, is that it's about excellence, how you support excellence or you don't. And we've all said on this panel that when women's basketball was going strong back in the late 90s and the 2000s, Like there was a certain amount of excellence these players played with. They played with a certain amount of passion for the game, certain amount of love for the game, and people would come watch them play. Like it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if you were a man or a woman. It didn't matter what it was. So that's based off of what they put in and what they made viewers want to see. The reason why is people want to see Serena and Venus Williams because they have a certain amount of excellence to their craft. You're right, Bruce. If you're crushing the sport and nobody knows who you are, but if you're crushing your competition, somebody's gonna find you. Somebody's going to um somebody's gonna want to see what's going on. So we can market you all day, but people ain't finna market trash, or people ain't gonna market like below average product when they got something else out there where they can market and actually put more time in. My man Little Rock said in the comments, he said basically kind of what Bruce was saying. They need to spend more time marketing women on these big sports shows like Undisputed and Stephen A. Smith, Skip Shannon, all that stuff like that. I would say it's you could do that, but I'm gonna tell you this: if they do that, the women still gonna have to bring out a flawless product. That means that when I do watch the games on TV or when I choose to come to your games, if I come and I'm like, man, this is whack, or this ain't even, I ain't feeling this, they gonna end up just get up and leave, and they ain't gonna come back. So it's like when I go to a Wimbledon and when I go to like a US Open, just think of the atmosphere what Serena brought this past week. At 40, what, she 43 years old, I think.
No,
She's like 42.
40.
Is she 40?
Yep.
Okay, so you look at the person like Serena, who the type of atmosphere she would have brought. Like people gonna want to see that because she's earned it. So again, this is one. She's in the race of one of the best athletes of all time, not just women, athletes of all time. So it's again, this is not a men women thing. It's about what can you bring to the table. What can you bring first, and then I'll come back and market you later. Like Rick said, I can't give you something I don't have.
Yo, BJ, you said it perfectly, and I kind of giggled on it. It's like, even if we do market you and we blast your name on the airways, we put you on everything, you have to come through after we do that. You have to. Because after we put you out there and then I show up, fans show up, and it's the opposite of what I was saying on the marketing press. And this is going to be the greatest game you've ever seen. You're going to see threes like Curry, dunking like Jordan, all that kind of stuff. And then you show up and we missing layups. The game slow. That, like BJ said, people going to be like, what is this? They told us it was going to be this. They told us it was going to be that. And then I feel like that'll be worse because now people feel lied to. See, at that point, at least it's at your own discretion. It's like, hey, if you don't WNBA game, that's on you. But now, if you blast through the airwaves that this is this is flawless product. When you come to this game, you're going to be amazed. You're going to have a great, just like the NBA. It's the same thing. And you get people, I'm going to go check it out. Okay, how much the tickets? How much is the season pass? How much are the jerseys? Okay, because I love the NBA. Then they show up, and it's not like the NBA. They will never come back. And the only way they're going to come back is when Sue Bird got the tongue out, dunking from the free throw line, dunking on LeBron when he go up for a block. That's the only time they're like, oh, okay, so they wasn't lying. It's just they was sick that day. Okay, all right. Yeah, we back.
Yeah. Right.
For all my LeBron lovers out there, Sue Bird dunking on LeBron. You heard what I said.
Part of what you said, Rick, is why I disagree with you. When you said that just like the NBA, there was a lot of bad basketball in the NBA just last year. Okay. There was when you watched the game on TV, you saw a lot of empty seats for the Kings, for the Pistons, for the Magic, for the Thunder. Mm-hmm. Remember when the Thunder was packed? When KD, Westbrook was there? That was crazy. When you go to play the Thunder. When the Pistons had Billups, Ben Wallace, they were packed. Absolutely. Kings was crazy when they had the cowbell. when the Lakers used to play with Kobe and Shaq. So why are they empty now? Because they're bad basketball playing and bad team. So there's the problem too. There's not a lot of spots in the WNBA. It's only 12 teams and 11 players on these teams. So there's a lot of great basketball. I mean, WNBA players. I mean, female players not playing.
Okay, Bruce. I'm not even finna refute what you said. It just kind of makes the point. That's what I'm saying. You made a elegant, like literally the picture you painted in my head was perfect. Because at certain points in certain seasons with these teams, you brought up the Detroit Pistons, you brought up OKC, they had certain players on the team that brought in revenue, right? And then we talked earlier, all three of us, we talked earlier, how do we keep Candace Parker? How do we keep Liz Cambridge? How do we keep Maya Moore? How do we keep these players in the league and happy, right? Because they bring in tickets. How do we keep Skylar Diggins in and not upset? How do we keep these certain players in the league? So again, you made a point by saying that, yeah, there's bad teams, but there's enough star power that generates revenue for the NBA to even exist and also exude so much revenue to where they support the WNBA. So not every team in the NBA has to be good because they counterfight that with making so much money from their star power. So then if we understand that it's star power and people like to watch certain players, then we need to have an understanding on the WNBA side. How do we keep the star players over here? How do we keep Taurasi playing another 10 years? But people love her. So how do we keep her here? Yeah, man. Well, now she's, if she's old, she can't move a hip. That's different. But if she still can play, yo, Taurasi, I know you 55, but you still can ball and you make us money. So what can we do to keep you in the league? What can we do? Because we need to generate revenue money. That's all it's about. I'm not going to, what you're saying goes to the bigger picture here. Yes, there's bad teams on both sides. It's just that the bad team on this side doesn't even matter in the situation because the good teams on this side generate so much money that the bad teams don't even matter.
Exactly.
But then when you flip over to the WNBA, the good and the bad teams matter. We need all these 12 teams to be good. And then once you make them good, we need the great players to stay on these good teams because they generate us money. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you flip this pancake, if you're not making us money, I got to let you go.
We ain't got no use for it.
It's the cold world, but that's how our country is ran. We need to generate money. So like I said, outside of how people may feel about their sexual orientation, outside of them being women, outside of them being, they're not as strong as men, I don't care. If you can bring people in, I'm going to support you because you're going to make me money. And that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. If these women can sit up here and make as much money as like bring in the revenue that the NBA makes, I'm telling you right now, Bruce, Eric, you're going to see kids in there with lesbian hats on because they making that much money. This world, let's be real frank. This ain't a God-fearing country no more. We left God a long time ago. So at the end of the day, if you bringing in entertainment, that's all that. It's the green God. It's the green God. If you can bring that money in, you my best friend. Ain't no morals no more.
Most of the people who buy the tickets are quote unquote Christians. So
okay, but not enough of them are buying the tickets, right? So whether they Christians or non-Christian, we need enough of them so I can make profit. That's how the NBA is looking at it. If they make a profit, go ahead, Bruce.
And the WNBA has a lot of black women. How many support for black women? You're gonna see.
Well, I think what it is that we need to stop lying to these women because look, like me and Rick were talking, like the NBA has been a good friend to the WNBA. Now, this is what goes back to why I say support and excellence. Now, I ain't gonna put her name, I ain't gonna put her face, but she plays for the WNBA right now. And she was just named to the all-rookie team. Right? Look at those numbers, man. She made the all-rookie team. Yeah, she made the all-rookie team with those stats. Now ask yourself a question. Could you ever get away with that on the NBA team?
You acting like Unc right now, BJ.
And then, well, Draymond is making
No,
all right.
no, no.
So
She, Bruce, Bruce,
Draymond, she's like
she,
Draymond, man. She's
Bruce.
does other things.
All jokes aside, Bruce, this young lady didn't even have not one over 1 point in any category. Not points, not rebounds, not assists, not steals. Nothing's over 1 point. And she made the all rookie team.
That's rookie team. There was a lot of other bad rookies.
But do you see what my point is that we're supporting bad product. That's bad. And I think we need to stop lying to these women thinking that's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way an NBA player could average that and still make anybody in the NBA all rookie team is giving you good numbers. That's not good. That's not good.
They're not looking at those stats. They're looking at her defense. I know who you're talking about. I had the same reaction when I saw it, but she's a great defender.
No, Bruce. That stats mean something. That you're not. I don't care if Draymond average. You're not making not one category. You're scoring over 1 point.
How many times Draymond has had double digits?
And I'm not mad about it, but that just tells you how they look at the product of the league. That's why the product is so low, because you're giving credit for this.
Okay.
Like that's how the math of WNBA has fallen. That's why the ratings have went down. That's why they're asking for more support. That's why they're asking for more money, because the NBA has just been giving to the point where they look like they're not even working on their game like how they used to. Like, we used to watch Dinah Taurasi, Sue Bird, Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops. Like, they were working on their game. But like you said with Liz Cambridge, she wants to do OnlyFans. She wants to do other stuff on the court. You're not even working on your profession. That's your craft. You're not even working on your game. That's a spoiled mentality, man. And that's bad behavior. We shouldn't be promoting that.
There's bad behaviors in NBA too. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I just think again, man. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
To say what BJ is saying just in a different way, basically their best product that they can try to, let's say, market or sell to you as a viewer is not good. Basically, if that's the best that you have as a rookie, like if we go pull up rookie stats from the NBA, some of the best years, you could actually look at their numbers and say, oh, they're going to be something in the league. Okay, that's potential right there. Like, I could see them being this or being that. But when you look at those numbers, and let's use a hypothetical fantasy right now. Let's take that same young lady right there and actually market that and say, hey, this is our future in the WNBA right here. And you market that. And then, as people who love basketball and love watching the NBA, and you see those numbers, honestly, I'm pretty sure the majority of people are going to be like, are they joking?
Right.
Did they make a mistake? Maybe this is somebody else's stats. Because at the end of the day,
has to be.
You can't sell that to me. I'm not saying she's bad. She probably can tear me up on the court. I'm not saying she can't play. What I'm saying is, as an overall product, I cannot sell that to you. I can't sell it. And
can you sell that, bro?
But see, if I look at these young men right here, and plus I've been watching them since college, if I try to sell them as an NBA fan, I'm gonna say, well, you know what, if Cade, Cunningham, if he just work with that left, or he just get that 3-pointer going, Pistons, they get a few first round picks, maybe something can happen. Or if Jalen Green, if he's a slasher, but if he works on that handle, I'm already in my mind as a fan creating a team. I'm already interested, and they haven't even done nothing yet. But then when you try to sell me those numbers that BJ just showed, I can't even create nothing in my mind, because I'm still stuck on they made a mistake. This is no way that this is the best that the WNBA has to offer me as a consumer. That's not this has to be a mistake. That's the best. And if that is the best, look, I stick to what I've been watching. That's just what's gonna happen. It's not, like I said, it's not about her being a woman or whatever. No, that's what I need to sell to people. Hey, Rick, You're part of the ESPN analytical team. I need you to take these numbers. I need you to take this young lady, and I need you to get her out there. I need more fans to come in, figure it out with your team. I'll be like, I quit. How I supposed to? What are you kidding me? How I supposed to do that? I can't. Is this an error? Please tell me it's an error.
Right.
Like they say there's not one point. Not one point. Now, Draymond Green, let's jump back on him. Yeah, there's many reasons why people don't like Draymond Green, but Draymond got 4 championships. Draymond is a part of a dynasty team. Draymond is, he's a part of a legacy. So I can sell that. I can write about that. I can get on YouTube and talk about him and get viewership. Draymond's name brings in money. That's all it's about. It's not about the player. It's about it's the name. How can I sell this product? Draymond is a very sellable product because he's controversy. He's like a neo Dennis Rodman. He's controversy. It's something to talk about. But if you tell me to sell that, I can't work with nothing. And that's all it really boils down to. It's not about how good the individual is as far as game-wise. It's literally, how can I sell this product? And that's all I'm really touching on when it comes to this discussion, the WNBA and the NBA. And the biggest thing, too, is how in the world are you mad at the people who support you? Like BJ said in the beginning, I'm literally going to figure out ways. I'm going to kiss your hand. I'm going to bow my head when you're the one putting a roof over my head. So you got NBA players coming to games. You got them supporting you. You got them literally talking about you. It's all over Twitter. But then you still fighting us. That's not even a good look to a consumer, because you know what that means? That means you don't even get along with the people who support you. So it's all business. I'm not making it personal. I'm just showing facts. I'm reading numbers. This is why y'all messed up. This is why y'all messed up. And Bruce, again, you were right when you brought up the NBA part. These teams are bad now. Absolutely. But the NBA makes so much money, those bad teams don't matter.
I disagree. She plays with Skylar Diggins-Smith and plays with Taurasi. So if Draymond is playing with Curry, Thompson, of course he is gonna have recognition. If he was playing with the Pistons last year, would we hear about Draymond? No.
Well, let's jump back to Taurasi. You said the young lady plays with Taurasi, and who else? Diggins?
Skylar Diggins-Smith, and she was supposed to play with Brittany Griner. And maybe the press wanted to give the Mercury something because Griner was not on the team, so they gave it to her. I think I think that was a bad choice myself, but she plays defense.
Okay, but let's go. I'm gonna stick to what you're saying. So you play with all these great players. Now, I think the Mercury, they did win, didn't they? Didn't they win a finals championship?
They won a couple of championships.
They won a couple.
Yeah.
Okay. So going with Bruce is saying, maybe you can sell it. I just don't know how then. Because the way I was looking at it with Draymond, it was like, okay, he's with the Golden State Warriors, but like, let's compare the two. And I'm going to make it real balanced. Because since they are champions, right, the Mercury, they have won some championships. They have a little legacy there. We all know Taurasi is a name within herself. So maybe they were trying to get this rookie out there and project it. Okay, fine. But the difference between Draymond and this rookie is that Draymond actually has already shown what he can do on the team. If they're trying to push a rookie, again, this is all potential. We don't really know what she can do just yet. Taurasi won a championship. We know what she can do. That's guaranteed. Draymond got 4 of them. So he's guaranteed, which is why he even has the balls to jump on television like he does and say, hey, pay me more. Because if he didn't win anything, he better not say nothing. So again, you make good points, but I'm still looking at this from a business standpoint. I'm going off potential. Draymond won me 4. So who do I feel safer with putting money into?
Right.
Who do I feel better about selling in this situation? Whose name carries more weight when it comes to controversy and something to talk about? I don't want to talk about numbers that don't even look real. I want if Draymond kicking people in the nuts and acting a fool, this is a 4-time champion with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and they just the defending champs kicking people in the balls. It's entertaining. But
yeah,
if I talk about a 0.3, 0.2, but she plays with Taurasi. Hold on, this is her first year. She didn't even win a championship with Taurasi. Wait a minute, guys. Hold on. I think somebody gave me the wrong paperwork. No, that's the right paperwork. Oh, okay. It's what can I talk about besides she's a good defensive player? Well, I'll tell you what. If she does another 5 years and she gets 2 or 3 defensive player of the years, WNBA player, defensive player of the years, wins a championship with Taurasi, now I have something to sell. Now I have something to talk about. But if she's just now starting, there's no weight. There's no weight for me to carry over and talk about her. Because if all I have to do is talk about this and the good teammates that she plays with, I'm not skipping that rock too far. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. This is WNBA, all rookie, not all at WNBA, all rookie. She was the best defensive forward, and she was in college. She was Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year 2 times, and she's in a team. She's in a team where her role is not to score; is to play defense. Taurasi has to score. Skylar Diggins-Smith has to score, and there's a Diamond Shield, I think that's her name, has to score. There's not a lot of opportunity. I think there's a Sophie something. That's not her role. She was a great defender, the best rookie defender for her position. That's why she was all rookie.
So you're saying, Bruce, because she's a great defensive player, she got an all rookie team?
Yes.
Okay. Rick, what was Dennis Rodman's role on the Bulls?
Just basically get rebounds and find an open man. He did more than that, but he was pretty much the bully man.
Right. So he's on the boards and he got, play great defense. Mm-hmm. I don't think Dennis Rodman scored more than 10 points his whole career with the Bulls.
Okay. That's not true.
No, I'm asking.
He scored more than 10 sometimes, but his main purpose was to pretty much get those boards and play defense.
He averaged more rebounds.
Oppositional teams, big men, and all that kind of stuff.
He averaged more rebounds than points. So my thing is, if you do something fine, that's great. If your role is to play defense, okay, be the best defensive player you can be. Why is her steals only at 0.3? Shouldn't she be averaging at least 1 to 2 steals a game if she's such a great all-time defender? I'm not saying she's not a good defender, but that doesn't cut it for me. She's averaging less steals than she's averaging points. So you said that she's an all-time defensive player. You can't cut it with 0.3 steals per game.
I didn't say all time. I said all rookie.
He said all rookie.
It does all rookie, all time, all W, all whatever. That all rookie stuff. I mean, that's an accomplishment. That should be something that's sacred for a select group of people. And 0.38 steals per game ain't cutting it. You should be averaging at least 1 or 2 steals a game. Look at the league. Look at some of the players in the league that are great defenders and great people that get steals and blocks. They're averaging at least 1, 2, 3 steals or blocks a game, not 0.3. They look at like, man, you not. For somebody that's such a great defender, you sure as hell not being the best defender out on the court. Because I guarantee you, I can find a person in the WNBA who's not known for being a defensive player, averaging more steals than that.
How many steals per game Dennis Rodman average? How many steals per game? I bet you he didn't average 1 point.
But that's not what his role was, Bruce. His role was to board.
That's not her role. Her role was defense. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that on here. I'm seeing a person that gets into the game at the end of the game. That's what I'm seeing. Because there's no way in the world that you can be in the game for a certain period of time and average those amount of stats, and you know for a defensive player. You can't be averaging 0.3 steals. How many minutes does she play, Bruce?
She's playing limited minutes. For the limited minutes she's getting, that's why she's getting those stats. She didn't play a lot of minutes.
How many minutes she get?
But probably 15.
Okay, 15 minutes. You should be getting at least one steal game. At least one.
Are you
At
kidding
least
me?
one. At least one steal a game. Because there's what? There's 40 minutes in a. Was it 12? Is it two 20-minute halves or 4 12-minute quarters or 4 12
Okay,
or 10?
I'm looking at her minutes now. 4.9 minutes per game. Come on, man.
So she shouldn't be on our rookie team. That's not enough minutes. You're not even touching the floor. So all these women, all these players on the court on the all rookie team, bro, are leaders of their teams. That's why I'm not getting. You can't be on all rookie team when you're not getting no minutes. That doesn't make sense.
Okay,
all
I agree
99%
of what you said, but because I think that she was chosen because she's on the Mercury, and they wanted to give the Mercury something because of Griner. I didn't think when I saw it, I didn't agree.
Right, like because if you look at this list, bro, all these players right here are stars of their team. These are all the futures of their teams. So they gonna get those all rookie. That's why I said the all rookie team is a sacred award. It shouldn't just be given to just because of a pity, like you said, because of what happened to Brittany Griner. That's just awarding something that's not you didn't earn. You taking something from somebody else that probably deserved it.
That has happened a lot. That has happened a lot with in the NBA too.
So, okay. We can go back and forth, but let's look at the main topic here. Pay up or shut up, are WNBA players underpaid? So, Bruce, I'm going to pose this question on this same topic. How would you market her?
Who? Her?
The lady that we keep pulling up. How would you market that?
You can't.
Because this is my point. This is my point. The whole point of this whole conversation is why the WNBA is not bringing in profits, why they're not making money. So how would you market that?
I will not market her nationally. I will market her in Arizona.
Okay. I'm really listening. So you would market her in Arizona, and how? And
because she hasn't done enough to be marketed nationally. I think in Arizona, yes.
Okay.
But
go ahead, BJ.
No, I was going to say I think what really honestly I wouldn't mark her at all, and I'm not even being funny because all you did was expose how bad your product was instead of allowing this young lady to develop and really getting her game and her numbers, her stats to a certain level was respectable, and then saying, look what we got. Because like Rick said, what can you do by bringing that to me? I'm gonna think, are you joking? But give her a couple more years to actually settle into the league and actually get some, real minutes, get some burn on the court, and then sell it. But if you sell it to anybody, they're gonna be like, walk away laughing. So all you did was expose your product.
I'm sorry. If the person is attractive, they will be marketable. I know a lot of people, they haven't done anything in anything. They're being marketed because they're sexy. Okay, they haven't done anything, accomplished anything, and they're being marketed because they're sexy. Because I remember when I was a kid, there was this tennis player named Anna Konikova. She didn't win no majors, and she was making more money than the Williams sisters.
Well, that's different though. We're talking about your accolades and what you're giving. You're talking about money, what you draw in. Yeah, women are like, if you're pretty and you have a pretty face, you're gonna bring in more revenue. But at the end of the day, we're talking about accolades and awards. And what East Oakland said was perfect. A lot of these women now, that like, this is why I say the whole dyke look and stuff is really hurting the league because, like I said before. And I don't mean, my bad, Rick. I didn't mean to interrupt, bro. I just want to make this one point.
No,
but the women back in the 2000s, they had toughness to them, but they still carried themselves when they were finished playing basketball. They still carried themselves as women. So that commodity right there actually will sell itself. Like, damn, this girl's not gonna be cool at basketball, but she's sexy. She knows how to carry herself out here, like outside the basketball court. But when you got more tats than me, your lineup is better than mine. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like it turns a certain amount of group of people off. So you're actually hurting yourself when you continue to carry yourself like that.
Okay.
All right. So Bruce actually had a decent little point there because he was basically saying, "Oh, okay, I will sell her in Arizona." Well, I say decent because we national wise, you even admitted it. You said I wouldn't do it nationally; I would do it locally. I was really listening. So basically, my whole thing is this: the whole topic, like I said today, is are the WNBA underpaid? And of course, like I said, I'm just using facts on why they're underpaid. Then when you have people trying to help them, they don't take the help. So I'm just getting right to the root of the problem, right? And so my whole thing is this: you did mention something. You said that there was a lady in tennis that literally was making marketing because of how she looked. Perfect. Well, then it made money. So that's the point. It made money. She sucked, sure. But if it made the business money, they were going to sell her and sell her and sell her till she wasn't pretty no more. And so going back to this player that we're talking about, maybe you're right, Bruce. Maybe if she was pretty enough and she was super cute, maybe I can market that. But since we're talking about, skills and accolades and all that, and like we're looking at the numbers, since they put the numbers up next to her saying this is the all rookie, top all rookie time, whatever the title is, I have to sell those numbers under that title. So that's why I kept saying, how do I market that? Of course, you said you would market it only in Arizona. I kind of see where you're going with that. That's why I said, okay, that's pretty deep. I see what he's doing. But at the end of the day, even with the chick in tennis who was real pretty, that organization found a way to make money off of her. And it was her beauty. So in this case right here, if we're talking about basketball skills and stats, I honestly don't know how I would market that. I just don't know. Given the lane that they would give me, how do I use 0.4, 0.2, 0.3 and like really sell it to a crowd to get them to come watch the Phoenix Mercury? I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I would be like, hey, we have this awesome rookie player right here, but don't forget that Taurasi and Diggins are also out. So come see Taurasi. I'm
Exactly.
over to the people who make the money because I need to sell. There's no way I'm going to make any ticket sales if all I had was her on there. I just can't do it. I'm going to tell you what I would do in that situation if they threw that at me. I'm going straight to Taurasi. I'm going to segue right on over because she has proven herself. She has a fan base. People love to watch her. I believe Kobe loved her. I mean, her name has weight, so I can use that. And I can attach the little rookie right there up to her hip and saying, also, check out our new all rookie who's making incredible stats. Now, they going to laugh at me at the end. I think this brother eyes messed up, but I got the focus on Taurasi. That's how I would do it.
I have a question. When Draymond was a rookie, could you market Draymond? Steph Curry was on the team already. Could you market Draymond?
But that's my point. Go ahead, Rick. Let's go ahead, Rick.
Bruce, I could be here all day with you.
Here we go.
No. I could be here. No, you can't market somebody who ain't doing nothing. So why are you fighting so hard for a woman who ain't doing nothing? I'm not going to disagree with what you said. I never said you were wrong, Bruce. I'm just telling you, you cannot sell that. So yes, if you want to hear that you're right, no, you're not going to market no Draymond when he first came into no, you're not going to market that. He ain't did nothing. But if you're going to compare a Draymond Green to this young lady right now, I'm talking about Draymond. I can sell that. That's easy. But if you want to change the dials up and bring it down and make him a rookie and make her a rookie, yeah, they may both have a fair chance at arguing because they ain't did nothing. But why do you think I literally said, hey, I'm a bring Taurasi in and attach her on Taurasi's hip? Because Taurasi is the name of that team. I can sell that. If that was my main purpose and main goal, hey, you have to sell this young lady, figure it out. Okay, cool. We got Taurasi, we got Diggins. All right, boom. So I'm gonna talk about them two since they have viewers, and then I'm gonna bring the young lady in at the end and also check out this stellar player that's gonna bring something. And they're gonna make fun of me, but I'm gonna have a focus on Taurasi and Diggins. But if I just come out and say, here you go, here's the product, and Bruce, if I go take the rookie, I guess, Draymond, and say, here you go, both of them gonna be laughing at me. I can't.
But when Kobe was a rookie, they marketed Kobe, and I think he went to the All-Star game.
But watch this. Kobe was doing his thing in high school, right? Now, also, Kobe had credibility from who?
Michael
Whose name
Jordan.
was attached to him? What do you
Michael
say?
Jordan. Michael Jordan.
No. Who? No.
Jerry West.
There you go. Jerry West talked highly about Kobe. So that's credibility. You have somebody already proven himself attaching their name to this guy.
But
so guess what? It's not, but hold on, Bruce. It's not so much that Kobe couldn't play nothing like that. He a rookie and all that. Jerry West has already made his name in the league. And this guy is attaching his name to Kobe Bryant. What is the difference when I say I'm going to attach Taurasi and Diggins to this young lady? I'm just doing the opposite.
The general manager of the Furnace Mercury is one of the greatest women basketball player of all time. So if I attach her name to the rookie, because she's a college player, she was a great college player. So that's the same thing.
Bruce, we saying the same thing. That's what I'm not understanding. We saying the exact same thing. It's just that you're coming a different way with it, but you're still saying what I've been said. I'm not going to sell her by herself. And when you brought up Kobe, I said whose name was attached to him. It just wasn't him by himself. He was, like you said, he was brand new to the league. Don't know about it. I mean, people knew of him, but he wasn't the Kobe Bryant that we remember him as. He had somebody giving credibility to him. So just like in my marketing campaign with the young lady, I would give credibility by using who? Taurasi and Diggins. It's the same thing.
Okay.
I think a couple things you said one thing you said was Draymond Green. Like Rick said, that's why I said I wouldn't market this young lady at all. I wouldn't market her in Arizona. I wouldn't market her in the US. I wouldn't market her in I wouldn't market her at all. I would leave her alone. Because again, you exposed your product. There was no point of it. You just should just market Taurasi by herself, Skylar Diggins by herself, Brittany Griner by herself, and let her develop. It's the same thing with Draymond. Nobody was marketing Draymond because it wasn't necessary. You talked about Steph Curry, you talked about Klay Thompson. Let's talk about the guys that actually are the face of the league, the Splash Brothers. Draymond, the thing of difference with Draymond, because he's got a personality, and that personality sells, right? And also, I lost another train of thought.
JaVale McGee was marketable for being terrible at one point. Shaq made him marketable.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't have to be good. You marketable. You can be anything.
I agree.
So I'm like,
I knew about JaVale McGee because of Shaq.
Right. But and that's what I was gonna say. You said about Kobe, bro, and other players. Like that's not even mentioning their physical attributes of the game. Like there's something to be said for somebody has a 40-inch vertical. There's something to be said for a person that can, get up and down the court, fly up and down the court. That's cool to watch. Not too many young ladies they're genetically are just not able to do that. Like I said, there's certain things that men can do, women can't, and there's certainly women can do, men can't. And athletics, bro, like it's just genetically wired. They ain't jumping over. They just started dunking like that, like the last few years. First ever dunk was Lisa Leslie, a regular basic dunk. Everybody went crazy. So that goes to show you like the physical difference between the two. And my thing is, excuse me. It's just a different scheme, bro. If you want to get paid more money, bro, you just have to bring in a different, more audience. You have to work on your game. You got to make it more. You got to do something to like, wow, this is something new. This is something that we ain't seen before. And I think we just got to start telling women the truth. Like, if you want to get paid more money, then you need to work with us trying to, make that happen. Don't sit up here and say like, well, we don't need your help or nothing when they've been helping you out the entire time. Man, so yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, look here, man. So BJ, at the end you said they need to take our help, but they don't. They don't. You have NBA players going to say, hey, lower the rim, maybe mess with the shot clock a little bit. Nah, we don't need to do that. Okay. All right. I was just trying to come in and help you out, stuff that I've been seeing. I'm not a 4-time NBA champion. I'm not a, Duncan King. I don't know what I'm saying. Like I be watching these interactions, right? And like I said, I feel like they use Candace Parker as their marketing tool. And I love Candace Parker, so nothing bad to say about her. And it's just like it's no to everything.
Miss
No,
Davis, this is why I love Mrs. Davis, bro, because she's real. Now look, she in her statement what she said to Bruce. She said, Bruce asked, why does he don't watch the WNBA? And she said, I agree, Bruce, but I never watch WNBA because it don't look interesting to me. Sorry. This is a heterosexual, I'm pretty sure Miss Davis is heterosexual. A heterosexual woman saying this about her own gender, that she does not care for the WNBA. But she's always on our streams talking about the Clippers, talking about Bron, talking about all the NBA. Mrs. Davis, can I ask you one question? Why do you watch the NBA over the WNBA? I just want to ask you that question specific because this is important to highlight because it's not sinking in with the men. When the men say, "Well, we just don't find it entertaining or interesting," oh, we're sexist, whatever. But when a woman says it, oh, okay, it's a whole different argument. Like you can't refute that. You can't fight against that because your own gender is telling you now what it is.
I
So
don't. Okay,
go ahead.
sorry.
Go
I
ahead, Bruce.
don't watch all the games because I agree it's boring. But I watch players because I watch female. I mean college basketball. I watch women but college basketball. So I watch Candace. I watch
Maya Moore, Brittany
Maya
Green.
Moore. Yes,
My boy was cold, man.
She was cold.
So that's why because I used to watch LSU with Simon Augustus. So I watch those players. So I keep watching them because I want to still watch them play. I used to watch Sue Bird. So I want to watch Sue Bird play. So yeah, so that's why I watch. But I don't watch all the other teams. I only watch like 2, 3 teams. When there's another team that playing, I'm not gonna watch because I do that in the NBA. I would watch most of the teams, but the WNBA probably 3 or 4 teams that I watch.
I mean, WNBA is coming up, man. Like even now, you got the WNBA in video games. Like I used to wonder. I wish they had this back then. I was waiting for the day to actually put women in video games, but now they just did it recently. It's like, okay, that's what I'm saying, they coming up. So they making strides, but at the end of the day, you still gotta put out a flawless product. You still gotta work on your game. You still gotta do things that's going to make sure you keep the audience around. Because if you don't, you're gonna be having stands looking as empty can be. You know what I'm saying? So that's on you.
I believe that they're trying to force people to believe that WNBA is okay, but I don't. I think they are in trouble. Uh, there's a word that I learned recently: the ghetto fabulous. When someone doesn't have any money, but they're pretending they have money. I think that's what he means. That's why I think that's what the WNBA is, and I think the quality was better to me, in my opinion, because I used to watch more WNBA teams early 2000s. I could watch
Hey,
and
Bruce.
all other WN team. Now I can't
Hey,
because
Rick.
he's too terrible.
Hey, Rick and Bruce. If they don't get together, the stand's gonna be looking like this.
And that's gonna be me up there. I'll be like, I'll be like, where's Liz?
How am I supposed to get? You talk about getting money and salary. How am I supposed to pay you when you got one person per section?
Hey,
Where you gonna get the money at?
Yeah, I can understand why Rick like Liz. I saw her Instagram the other
Liz,
day. So.
Liz. Oh, okay. He making little subtle shots. That's okay.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, Liz actually was carrying that. She was a baller. So I know Candace, your girl, and she is nice. I can't even say nothing bad, okay, because she is crispy with the skills. But Liz could ball until
but she quit. She quit multiple times. She quit so many times.
I know. Look, I'm not like a LeBron fan. Look, when you tell the truth, I can't say nothing. I know.
Shit. Miss Davis said, BJ, I was always very interested in the NBA because it's exciting to watch, and I grew up around a lot of boys when I was young. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? So, man, it's been a great live, man. And y'all put in the comments, man. Do y'all feel like women are underpaid right now? Do you guys feel like WNBA players are underpaid? That's the big question. I obviously said that it's not even about that. It's about how much money you generate. Rick and Bruce, y'all can kind of touch on what y'all believe, and then we can kind of end the show from there.
I mean, I think me and Bruce, we just saying it in our own different ways. I think we have both agreed that they need to figure out ways to bring in more money. Right? Bruce is more on the marketing side about it. I'm more on the keeping your superstar side about it. Okay, once you get a Candace Parker, a Maya Moore, a Taurasi, like players like this caliber, not only do you get them, how do you spread them out? We don't need Diggins and Taurasi on the same team unless you got another star set like that on the other team. Because what you need to do in a situation like that, when you have 12 teams, make sure each team is just as competitive as the next one. That keeps it interesting. And then on top of that, when you have those type of players on each team, how do you keep them there? How do you keep them from going and joining with another player? How do you keep them on the Storms? How do you keep them, with the Mercury? How do you make them want to stay where they're put, kind of like a Dirk Nowitzki or a Kobe? How do you keep them on that team? Keep them from going overseas and playing for Russia and playing for other teams. How do you compensate them to make them think like, you know what? I'll show up to training camp on time this year. I think they're treating me fairly. So, and Bruce, I'll let you end it on your side with it. But ultimately, the WNBA needs to spread out the star power, learn how to negotiate and keep their players. And I think that will somewhat help in generating revenue. What you think, Bruce?
I think that the women are overpaid because the products they're giving doesn't deserve the money they're receiving right now.
Oh, damn.
If you want to get paid more, play better. They are overpaid.
Damn, I ain't heard that. That.
I thought Bruce was gonna be light with it. He came with the metal punch.
I'm sorry, Miss Brown, Erica Brown, but they are overpaid.
Man. Oh, Erica Brown, who?
That's my sister.
I'm about to say that I was looking at the picture. I say, ain't that your sister? hey.
How you? I don't think you can be overpaid because it's like they don't make much money as it is. So I don't know how you can be overpaid.
These guys gonna hate me. These guys gonna hate me.
Go ahead, Bruce. We already got Erica listening.
These guys gonna hate me.
Hey, go ahead, Bruce. Go finish what you got to say.
Oh, see, where do I live?
She said, "I just want to talk, BJ."
Nah, she don't want to talk. But Bruce has been the most actually on his. To be real with you, she's been standing up more for the women more than anybody. Like
I support the WNBA. I'm gonna watch every year. But the quality has to go up. It's going down. It's going down. You cannot have everything for granted if you're not giving me good quality. If I go to a restaurant and you're supposed to be 5 stars and you're giving me 2 stars, am I gonna pay more money? I'm gonna pay your value.
Right. And
the WNBA players still want to be paid from what other players have done, and they're not adding to that.
Yeah, this is my favorite WNBA player right there, Tamika Catchings. And when you finish watching her play, you be like, man, you got your money's worth. That's what I want the WNBA to get back to. That passion, that love for the game. And once they do it, I can start watching again. Maya Moore, another one. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
Classy.
And she can play.
Like people who wouldn't want to see that. Cheryl Swoops. You know she's the first woman that had her own shoe.
She was cold.
She was cold, man. That was
hey, public announcement. I own some Swoops, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I own some. They was nice. Everybody liked my shoes, but I hit the Swoops part. You know what I'm saying?
So it's very simple, ladies. All you have to do is bring back that passion and bring back that quality basketball that excites everybody, not just one group. And then your marketing will work. Then you can go to Skip and Shed and be like, look, this is what we got. Like, you know what I mean? You got something that you can sell. It's like, but I can't sell, you know what I'm saying, this. I can't sell that. I can't sell that. No way. And you shouldn't ask him to sell that.
He said that you should have asked me to.
And I'm sorry, Rick. I used to be a big fan of Luz Cambage.
Okay.
And she disappointed me so many times, man. She used to play with Skylar Diggins, and she quit. Everywhere she goes, she quit.
She quit. She did.
Agree. I can't say nothing.
Yeah.
Those are facts.
She quit in the middle of the season this year.
I agree. I can't. Hey, those are facts, man. That's why I'm upset with her, because I really feel like she could play ball, man. Like, she was very dominant, and I love watching her play. But like you said, Bruce, like everywhere she went, I'm just one of those people where instead of I do the opposite, where I will fight people, I just get sad. Like, damn, I can't say nothing. It's facts.
Because I see all the talent, man. All the talents are there.
Yeah. Bro, she's 6'8", like, and she just really, to be honest with you, if she wanted it, like, come on, man, you already got the size advantage over everybody, and you got some skills too.
Look at the form, like, bro, she was, yeah, come on.
She's so skilled. She can shoot outside, inside, can post. Man, come on,
nasty,
man.
Bro. Like that's why I don't blame Bruce for not liking her, because that will piss you off. It's like, man, come on, man.
Female Ben Simmons. That's what she is, man. Wasted talent.
But she's better shooter than Ben Simmons. So.
That's yeah,
true.
But we don't know, man. Ben probably can shoot. He just don't want to shoot. He don't want to shoot.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
I mean, they are overpaid, man. They are overpaid. Yeah. Sorry.
Miss Brown, they overpaid. You heard what Bruce said.
You guys didn't expect me to say that. You guys were expecting that and say underpaid.
All I say, if just look at Serena, man. If there's any golden standard that women athletes want to look at Miss Williams, man. Just let you know that it's not about being a woman, it's about your excellence to your craft. If you give people excellent quality craft, then you can get money like this.
Balling.
$260 million. There's NBA players that don't even make that type of bread.
Serena Williams and her sister are underpaid for what they've done to the culture.
On Forbes. Right, on Forbes. I think they're like 90 something on Forbes. I'm like, it's a female athlete, black female athlete doing this. Come on, man. It's not about gender. It's about what you bring. It's about your quality.
Yeah,
so
they laughing at Bruce.
So
you guys are. I mean, that's the reason why they have no people watching them, because they think they're getting paid too much. I'm just saying what a lot of people think. So
no, you gotta tell them the truth. You gotta be like, look, you can do that. You can do just like she do, but you gotta get your game right. You gotta stop missing layups at the layup line. You gotta stop missing passes. Open. You can't be doing that, man. Like 3-man weave, just the ball going over your head. Like, come on, man. Like, you supposed to be pros, man. Like, no.
DJ say you supposed to be pros. The ball going over your head.
No.
It's the same 3 plays, man. Pick and roll, pick and stop, and post up. That's all I see.
Right.
I need to see something different.
And listen, if I was a coach of the WNBA, bro, I'll go 32-0 every time. I'll be like, look, man, they gonna do the same play every time they come down, man. Just stay in this spot, don't move, and they gonna give you the ball. Yeah, man. But hey, this has been fun. This has been a great live. We got 2-hour mark, man. I didn't think it was gonna be this long, man. But we got a lot of people.
Because Bruce come with it. That's why. Bruce come. Where our other boy at? Where he at?
I think Bubba watching, man. I think Bubba's watching. Okay. But we got a lot of good comments.
Take him on now, because it'll be another hour. So.
Yeah, Bubba would have us talk all day. But my sister said she agrees, so she's good, man. My sister, she expects excellence too, so she, she's the same way. Like that's why I say anybody's not gonna get mad at having excellence.
Yes, come on, man.
So,
Bruce said, "Come on, man."
hey man, we're gonna be back on tomorrow though, man. Bruce, any lasting comments?
Uh, sometimes the WNBA hurt my eyes, but I have to support them
Okay.
because I love basketball and I like giving people chances. Even if I talk bad about them, they are overpaid, whatever, but I will watch and give you a chance. And I think the WNBA deserves a chance because there's young girls that need to see that.
Mm. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right.
I think
All
my
right,
last.
Bruce.
All right.
All right, bro.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, man. Salute.
Hey, you remember that girl you used to play with at the Red Crystal?
Crystal, man, I was thinking about her the whole time. I was
Bro,
thinking about Crystal the whole time.
you didn't have to take it easy on her.
Bro,
She
Crystal
was.
was a baller, man.
I don't know how she didn't make it to the league, man.
Yo, I think she did play college ball. I think I asked her one time. I forgot what school.
Yeah,
But
she played college. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that girl was crispy, like crispy. And I used to admire, and that's my point. She had influence on me. I used to like try to steal her moves because she'll be hitting them little Kobe fadeaways and like them hezzies.
Footwork.
Man, like how she be, and she be so stick with it. I'll be like,
right.
Sharp. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we definitely not like saying they ain't got no skill. That's not what we saying. We just saying y'all ain't bringing no money. That's it. That's it. You just ain't bringing in no money. But we did like that right there, man. Like I said, God bless him, man. You know, Kobe, Gigi, man. Everybody on that helicopter. If everybody involved, families. You know, God bless y'all. Many healing spirit going to everybody. But man, that's what I was waiting on too. That's what I was waiting on. I was waiting on Gigi to get old enough to get into that league because you already know the Mamba was. She already, man. You looking at her picture, she had the Mamba mentality, bro. And she was raised by the man himself. I'm telling you, it would have been an increase in WNBA sales soon as she would have went to that draft. I would have had me on a jersey the same day. I'd have been like, let's go. Another Bryant in the league. I would have been making games like, yo, let's go. Is that Kobe? Is that Kobe? Kobe, what's up, baby? I see Gigi doing a thing. Like it would have, man. I was waiting on them moments because I was ready. I was ready,
right.
man.
I think we all were.
That's the point. And I think, you know, she wasn't even, you know, going to the WNBA, but people were already talking about it, which does what? It brings in the viewership.
Yeah.
It brings in the money. And so as soon as she, even if her first game was trash, it didn't matter. Everybody is waiting for that debut. That's all they were waiting on. And she would have killed. She would have destroyed because, you know who her daddy is. It would have been a problem. She'd been out there killing everybody. So, you know.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, it's all about just what you bring in and it's all up to you. And that's why even like people like LeVar Ball, you got to respect because Lonzo Ball became who he was his first game because LeVar's mouth. And he was and LeVar's good. I mean, Alonzo was a good college player too.
Yeah, marketing. Because you see, they dad marketed the boys. That was marketing. Who better? LeBron James. LeBron James. Better than my son. It didn't matter if it was real or not. He sold them so beautiful. He sold it. And even though you knew the truth that this guy wasn't better than LeBron, it made you want to watch him play against LeBron. He marketed them so well. So it's just like, man, and even like LaMelo and they doing their thing, of course. But look how he marketed that. He marketed. It made you sit back and say, I want to see LeBron and this boy play ball now because of his mouth.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. I mean, even now, like, but all that like 4 seasons ago, and people still. And LeVar's been quiet for the most part.
His job's done.
His job is done. So it's like when you look at the ball boys, it's like you still be like, oh, okay, you know them because of what LeVar did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? LaMelo, he's a good young player, but LeVar and Lonzo is too. But they got other young players that are good, guys like De'Aaron Fox, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Trey Young. These guys are they're better than LaMelo and Lonzo, but they ain't getting the same amount of recognition, or it took them longer because they didn't come in with that marketing.
And that's why he did it. That's why I said they daddy's a smart businessman. I always gave it to him for that. He's a smart businessman. He knew who the marketing ticket was of the NBA, which was LeBron. So that he brought up LeBron's name, and he kept saying unrealistic stuff and made you want to see it. I swear, you put my boy on the Lakers, they're going to the finals. You put my boy in the even though we like, man, be quiet. We now it's in the back of our mind. Well, what if we do put him on the Lakers? I'm gonna see if he's right. Let's see. It didn't matter if you believed him or not. He made you want to see it. He sold it. That's why he's quiet. It's done. His job is done. His boys are in the league. He don't care.
Yeah.
That's why I give that father a hand clap. He did his job. That was his mission.
Right.
That's why you don't hear about him no more, because he good.
Yeah, you looking straight. I ain't hear from LeVar in like 2 years.
And then if you go watch LeBron's those little Drew leagues, what he's been doing before like he plays, LeVar's at one of his games.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still around. It's just that as far as his marketing tool, what he was trying to do, he's done. He completed it.
Right. Well, man, it's great live that we had, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. Give our social media, we'll be up out of here, man.
Hey, man, y'all already know who it is. It's your co-host that does it the most. It is Rick Masters, man, at Rick Masters 23 or Mr. Lee. Y'all already know the Pull Up Basketball Podcast shirts. We got the red. You see BJ right there. You see me right there. Hey, man, we got the red, black, white tanks, hoodies, sweaters. We coming at you. Come support your family, man. BJ, let's go.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You know what I'm saying? The Pull Up Basketball Podcast, as well as continue to, support by our ticker. Y'all can go ahead and donate to the Pull Up Basketball Podcast right there. $ BJ Matthews, $ BJ Matthews. And we will give you guys actually access to shirts if you guys choose to, white, black, and red, all colors. $30 to $35 a pop for shipping and handling wherever you're at. But we appreciate and love everybody that came in here, man. Mrs. Davis says she gotta get one. Yeah. Just let us know, Mrs. Davis, and we'll definitely lace you up, with something. Just gotta let us know you want a short sleeve, long sleeve, what size, and
you got sweaters, hoodies. You just got
put it in the comments after we end this live, and we'll get you all squared away. But that's all we gotta say about today. We're gonna be back again tomorrow with more topics for the following week. But we respectfully say, pull up a seat, pull up a chair, pull up. Peace. Out of life. Swim well.